Hi guys, Grizzly Grunt here. So today we're going to talk about backpacks or rucks. Same thing, different lingo. Before we get any further, if you would like me to do a specific rucksack or a specific backpack to review or do some research on for you guys, hit the like and subscribe button and comment which one you would like me to do, or if you would like me to do videos on something else. So without further ado, we're going to talk about external versus internal frame rucksacks. We have three examples here. So the first one we're going to go over is an external frame. This is a metal frame, what we call Alice rucksack. External frames are really rugged. They're like the pickup trucks of the backpack world. They carry a lot more weight, but they may not be as comfortable of a ride, if you will. Alice frames, I've humped one of these for several years, probably 20 years. This one specifically, at least 20 years. This is the second rucksack I've put on this thing, but so they're not as like I said, they're not as comfortable just because they're not as adjustable. The Alice frame is not as adjustable. Pretty much it's just a frame with a hip pad, shoulder pads. There's no adjustment up or down, so you're stuck with what you got. If you're short or if you're tall, you're wearing the same thing. One size fits everyone, fortunately. So that's about it for the Alice frame. I love these, and I've been kind of stuck with these, I guess, because you're used to them. You get stuck in a rut. The Army several years ago decided to upgrade to the Molly rucksack. All right, Molly rucksack is still an external frame, but they're plastic. One of the benefits of these is they are adjustable. If you look, there's like a little ladder system that you can adjust these up or down, which is great for gravitationally or height challenged people, short people. So it's not sitting on the rear end or sitting up too tall, but you can adjust these for your height. Fairly comfortable. I don't prefer them, but they do what they need to do. They're about the middle of the road rucksack, and like I said, they hold a lot of weight, but these have been known to break, especially in the cold. The plastic, stationed in Alaska and upstate New York, Fort Drum, and these get cold and brittle, and when they get thrown or flop too hard, they will break. But you know, everything has its breaking point. So moving on from there, we're going to move on to the internal frame rucksack. So this one is adjustable. I've had this one. Now this is my brother's when he was a kid. The reason, and actually this is a woman's rucksack or woman's internal frame backpack. We went with this one for him because, no offense to women, but they were smaller framed, so the backpacks are better for children. So if you have a kid that's looking to start getting into hiking, instead of looking at a boy's or a men's rucksack for a backpack, start them off with a woman's backpack. It's smaller. These are adjustable with the internal frames here that unvelcros. It can slide up and down. He used these for many years before he hit a growth spurt. So after that, then he went ahead and transitioned to an adult's backpack or a men's backpack, something to fit him better. But
they grow up so fast.
He humped one of these for quite a few years. The pros to these, they're definitely more comfortable. The newer ones have different material in the backing, and they're cooler. These older ones internal ones, in my opinion, are a bit warmer because they snug to your back better, versus the external frames where there is that gap so the airflow can get behind it a little bit better. But these definitely hug your body better, but they can be warmer. Think of these of like the SUVs, maybe even a sports car of the rucksack world or the backpack world, just because they're a bit more comfortable for how they ride. So moving on from there, what we're going to do now is I am going to do a basic loadout that I am going to carry this weekend. I'm going backpacking this weekend. I'm going to have another couple videos of some subcategories. So I'm still trying to figure out this snap thing. Wow, it's magic. Well guys, so we're going to go over my loadout, what I'm taking this weekend. And this is just pretty generic items, what I normally take, give or take-ish. So we're going to start from my left to right. So starting out, I have my sweat rag. This is a sniper veil that normally come in 6-foot sections, but I cut it down. I use it wiping my face off, sweating. Also, when I'm hunting, I lay it around my head, keeps the bugs off me. It's a pretty handy little item, and it dries pretty quick because it's mesh. Something else you're going to see, I have 2 of these. Hang on. Damn helicopter. Anyways, so I have 2 sleeping pads. Eggshell one I really like. And then you have your just very generic foam. I prefer the foam ones over the inflatable ones because the inflatable ones, when it's cold, it compresses. Or if you get a hole in it, you're laying on the ground for a couple of days. Plus these have multiple uses. You can see this one's been cut. I think I used this one a while back for a padding for something. You can also turn this into a splint if a leg is broken or something to help brace it, something like that. So it has multiple uses. Moving on to some of the things you probably can't see. Utensils for eating. Headlamp for a headlamp over handheld. Hands free, of course. Thing extra batteries. Like I said in one of my other videos, I tape my good batteries together. That way my old batteries, if I have to reuse them, I just throw them in there. The loose ones I know are trash, so I chuck them. That's how I tell them apart. Pen, notepad. I prefer the write and range stuff, so if I have to leave a note for someone, if I'm in an emergency or whatever, or if I'm looking for a ride and someone's trying to pick me up and I have to go somewhere else, I can leave them a note. Of course, in here I got a little roll of duct tape, knife sharpener with a P38 can opener, chem light. I always bring a chem light or a glow stick for those don't know what a chem light is. Uses for signaling. A piece of 550 cord. If you want to know more about that, ask me in the comments, and I'll maybe do a thing on signaling. I have a little thing, a little boo-boo kit here. It's not my main first aid kit. This is batteries and some Neosporin. You cut yourself hiking or something like that. I also keep a pair of rubber gloves in here in case for big trauma cases. A little multi-tool. I'm a big saw guy. I like the products. I'm not sponsored by any of this stuff, so if I talk about it, I'm not sponsored. But I like the SOG tools. They've been pretty good to me. Been using them for probably 20 years as well. Hand warmers. It's going to be cold this weekend, so you guys get to see me freeze my ass off. But these are good. Put them down your sleeping bag if it's really cold. Put it in your pocket if you need it for later. Usually last 4 to 6 hours. This is a kit bag, so wear it on your chest. You can keep some items readily available. Your cell phone, stuff like that. Compass. I keep my compass in here, tied down, of course, or as we call it, dummy corded. I also keep a whistle. You may not hear that too often, but whistles are good for signaling. If you're in an emergency, 3 whistle blasts. If you don't know, there's a sign of emergency, 3 gunshots. You can reuse this. Gunshots, you run out of ammo. You don't have any more ammo if you're in a hunting situation or survival situation. But whistles are good. You can blow them at bears, blow them at critters you don't want around. It'll scare them off. It's really high and shrill. Stuff like that. But you can keep all kinds of stuff in here. And I sometimes keep an insurance policy in here. But we'll talk. If you want to know more about that, let me know. We'll talk more about that. Sandals or camp shoes. Even in the winter, I bring sandals. Prefer ones that have the toe cap, so if I'm hiking or going through river crossings, I don't scratch up or break off toenails or anything like that. These are pretty good. I don't like the open-toed ones as much. I like these better. Set of these Keens will last me probably 5 years before I have to get rid of them. And I, living in the southeast, as much as I fish, that's a good long time for them. Water purifier. Okay, this is very important. I also have water tabs somewhere in here. I think those are actually in my ruck, but I use a hand pump water purifier. I'm going to do a video on this weekend, so there'll be more to hear about this. And then in lieu of that too, I also carry this. This is a water bucket or a water bag, depending on who you talk to. But fit up to 5 liters, fill that up with water, take this back to your campsite. You can pump this water into your canteens. But we'll talk more about that. You can also use this to like wash your feet, wash your face, rinse it out, stuff like that. Alright. This, as you notice, most of my stuff is subdued, camouflage, whatever. I hunt, I fish. I'm still in the Army for a little bit longer, so most of my stuff is dual purpose. Even when I get out, I'll probably keep it this way just because I hunt a lot. But this is a signaling device. Alright. Most of my stuff is subdued. This is a little orange signaling panel that I can mark my location with. If I'm in the forest or something like that, I want to leave a signal for somebody. Pretty simple. I think this is made by Tasmanian Tiger. I've got 2 of them. I use them. Sometimes I use them on my hunting blinds so I don't get shot by other dumbasses out there hunting. Pair of gloves is going to be cold. Even in the summer, I'll bring a pair of work gloves. A glove? For stuff. Water. At least 2 quarts. Camelbacks are great, but I prefer canteens. They don't get holes in them as easily. You notice I have nesting cups, canteen cups. You can cook out of these, which I will this week, and I'll do a class on that. They also make them for Nalgene bottles. I prefer Nalgene bottles. And I just bought this cup, so I'm going to test this cup out this weekend. I already tested them, and this one's got measuring gradients on it. They hold about the same amount. So as one looks bigger than the other, it's just a shape thing like they do with a lot of canned goods and glass goods in grocery stores. It looks bigger, but it's just the same amount as the other one. This is a little fold-up camp chair. Keep that so I don't have to sit on the ground, or if I'm doing something, I'm not sitting on the ground as much. I'll show this. You'll see this weekend. Clothes. I don't bring a lot of clothes with me. I'm a pretty hot-natured guy, even when it's cold outside. I always bring 1 pair of socks per day and then an extra pair. So if I'm going out for 2 days, I'll have the pair of socks I'm wearing plus 2. Bring a pair of silks. These are silk weight, like thermals. And then I have a pair of pants, but these are the pants that zip off at the knee. So I usually hike in shorts on the civilian side, of course, just because it's cooler for me. And then I can put the pant legs on later on. Or if I have, which I'll probably do this weekend because it's going to be cold, I'll hike in a pair of gym shorts, and then I'll have something dry to put onto the campsite. It's imperative you're doing layers, and we're going to talk more about that once we get out there, about layering and how to wear stuff when you're backpacking or humping. All right, this is a small hatchet. All right, a friend of mine gave it to me as a going away gift. It's pretty small. It's probably about 18 inches long. Holds a good edge, and it's fairly compact, but it's small enough I can do little things. I think you saw that. You've seen this before in my fire starting video. I really like it. I don't bring a huge knife unless I'm actually doing like survival stuff. I like this pretty well, and a pocket knife, and I can get most things done. Some things some people don't bring. I bring a small little pack. This one's pretty light. Throw it in the bottom of my bag. So if I want to do a day hike, or if I'm going to have to hike further back to get water. Sometimes these campsites might be dry and you have to walk back or walk to a point to pump water to get water. So it's nice to have a little bag you can throw something with your 10 essentials in, like we talked about in the other video, to so you're not just hand carrying everything. You put your water purifier, a few other odds and ends. There's smaller bags. I like that one. It's an E&E from Kafaru. And moving on, cigar case. I like to have a good smoke in the woods. It's a little bulky, but it is what it is. Fuel. We already talked about fuel in the other video. My stove. I don't know if I showed you guys my stove in there, but we'll talk more about this. I'm gonna do cooking with this later on and how it works. My tarp. I'm not bringing a tent this time. I'm gonna show you guys how to set up a primitive tarp and a few different configurations out there. I'll usually bring 6 stakes, and I have 550 cord or survival cord. You don't normally bring this much, but I bring enough to set up a bear bag for my food and then set up my tent. For my tent, normally what I use bungee cords. I got 4 or 6 bungee cords on here, and they're 38 inches, not stretched, and they can stretch pretty far. And I like those better because they stay taut and they're quick to unhook if you're in a hurry, and you can use those for multiple things as well. This is a little fishing tin. Alright, it's got a fishing line, a few survival items in there. If you'd like me to do a video, I'm thinking about doing a video on how to make your own with little Altoid sized tins or a little metal tin. Let me know if you'd like me to do a video on a survival tin or survival kit in the comment section, please. So all this stuff, most of it doesn't require any waterproofing. The clothes, the food. I don't have the food. I haven't gone shopping yet. I have to get a few items. But a waterproof bag that you can put inside your rucksack to line it. You can go to Army Navy store and get these waterproof bags. They aren't the greatest things and they get holes, but they're cheap and you can patch the holes with any patch kits or even little pieces of electrical tape. But you can set this inside your rucksack as a liner, put all your junk in there, and either tie it up, or normally I just tuck it and flap it over so the water runs off the backside. But it's all on what you plan on doing and what your preference is. Little first aid kit, you can get these in any REI, Walmart, outdoor store. Pretty generic, you call this a weekend kit. I also keep a tourniquet for bigger boo-boos in my rucksack. Hygiene kit. You don't, just because you're living out in the woods doesn't mean it to smell like it all the time. You're gonna stink anyway, but you want to keep that hygiene up if you're going to be out there for longer periods of time. Most people that died in most wars up till recently was because of bad hygiene. Didn't brush your teeth, squalid living conditions, stuff like that. So ibuprofen, I keep plenty of that in there. One thing that I found past couple years, I used to use a lot of body powder for chafing, but this stuff is called Aquaphor, and this stuff is great. It's kind of like Vaseline, but it's medicated, and you can put it on your chafing spots, and it gets rid of it in a few hours, if not overnight. Pretty basic. Small little travel toothbrush, toothpaste. You can get those at Walmart, and those small ones. And I also keep a pair of tweezers and a pair of nail clippers in here. Tweezers and nail clippers, pulling out splinters or anything like that. And I keep a few Q-tips in there for whatever may arise, for applying medication. Maybe some of the Neosporin I have in there. All right. One thing I always bring in the winter is a beanie and a tube scarf. All right, tube scarf, neck gaiter. Some circles we call it foreskin.
Ask me about my winter.
You'll probably see me wearing this weekend. You'll understand why. But those are pretty nice. I like to sleep in my sleeping bag. Pair of shorts and a t-shirt as minimal as you can so your body heat is reflected better. And then when you get out of the sleeping bag, you have something warm to put on. We're going to talk more about this weekend, but wearing this over my neck and over my head when your face is sticking out that hole will help keep you warmer, because you lose a lot of heat out of that hole. If you cover that up, you're going to be a lot more comfortable at night, in my opinion. Of course, your fire starting kit. And we talked about hygiene earlier. Butt wipes.
Wipe my own ass.
Alright, or baby wipes, whatever you want to call them. I get the biodegradable ones or the flushable ones, even though most places make you pack it out. If you can't pack it out or don't pack it out for whatever reason, you bury it. The biodegradable ones are best, and these are good for multiple things. Clean your hands off, clean your high traffic areas, feet, groin, armpits, face, not in that order, but you know what I mean. And cleaning any wounds or anything like that, these are really good for that. If you get the alcohol wipes, they're going to burn it a little bit, but they'll definitely clean off. And then I bring my charger, it's a portable charger. Forget who it's made by. I will do a video on this if you would like. Drop it in the comments, but this one is solar powered. It can charge my phone probably 3 times. It also has a flashlight at the end if I need to use that, which I'm pretty well covered on that. Outside of food, I bring these little power gels. These are actually protein gels, so these will help you recover after long hikes, stuff like that. I use these after I go to the gym and whatnot. If you'd like to hear more about these, let me know. I can do a short video. And of course, your sleeping bag. If you notice, I don't have it compressed. When I'm not using it, I don't compress it. Synthetic bags, if they're compressed too long, the fibers break down. So keeping it uncompressed will help extend the life of your sleeping bag. Some of the down sleeping bags, they even recommend you hang those in your closet. Some of them even have hooks in the bottom. You can hang it from a coat hanger in your closet just so it retains that loft, and you can do that with your sleeping bag as well. And then one thing, I didn't bring my boots out here, but a good set of boots and good socks will go a long way. I can do a tutorial or a video on boots and foot care if you'd like. Drop it in the comments and I can do one of that. When I'm not carrying a gun or a weapon, playing army or going hunting, what I prefer to take is a good hiking stick. I prefer one chest to shoulder height. I can use this for flipping snakes off trails if I can't get around them. It's nice to have a third or fourth leg.
Giggity.
When I'm out crossing streams and whatnot. And it's also helps save your legs. Going through thick brush, you can push brush out of the way or push overhead brush out so you get through easier. I think that is about it. If I missed anything or have any questions, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, specifically comment so I know if I'm missing anything or if you'd like to see more videos. Otherwise, I will see you guys after the weekend. Hopefully I don't get abducted by Sasquatch or anything, or get eaten by a bear. There's no bears up here, but you never know. Probably more than likely Sasquatch or Dogman in this area, so see you guys on the flip side.
Marianne! Shake them! Shake them!